Hi guys, I'm Rick Dancer. This is DM Fam.
Hi.
And we start our mornings sometimes when she shows up at the gym together in a power class. And one day we were talking about her story, and then she also is friends with my wife. And you told Kathy your story, and I thought, man, we got to talk about this. So this is you were a Vietnamese refugee. You were born in Vietnam, and then in 1979, all hell broke loose, and you had to get the hell out of there.
Yes.
So tell people the story.
Well, it started in 1975, the fall of Saigon. And 79 is when my mother finally had enough. And so she took 7 kids down to the boat, and she somehow realized that, like, I can't take all 7 kids, so I'm going to give 3 to someone else, and I'll hold back the 4 with me. And so she found a guy that was walking toward the boat, and she goes, "Can you just take the 3 kids?"
And so that was you
Yep.
and 2 other siblings
2 younger
that you
brothers.
just, and you're 8. So now you're going with some stranger onto a boat. So you're one of the people we used to refer to as boat people.
Yes.
And so what was that? That had to be like scarier than heck.
It was, because I remember saying to my mother, I don't want to go with this guy. And she was like, "No, just be a good big sister. No, just do this. I can't take all of you." So we're walking down with this guy and my 2 younger brothers. And she said, "I'll see you soon."
And you're 8.
Yeah. This is...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we're on this boat, and I realized the boat was slowly leaving. It was like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I was looking around, I did not see Mom. And I realized, like, oh gosh, they're leaving without her. So we're leaving Vietnam here, and it had, everyone had to be really quiet because we were trying to escape.
Yeah, this is not like a little boat trip. You are trying to get out of the country.
Yes.
And what you're doing is, I'm guessing, probably not legal.
No.
And you're 8 years old, and you really don't know what you're doing.
No, well, everyone else was really quiet, and that's when you realize there's something.
This is a
scary.
big deal.
Yeah, this is scary.
Yeah.
So we were on the South China Sea for 3.5 days, drifting.
Because you don't have these weren't motorboats. This is like
No,
So what are you eating?
Well, no, I just remember, looking around and thinking, like, I wonder if they know what they're doing. Because there was a lot of people, their eyes, you could tell when you're a kid, people are quiet, and you look into their eyes, and you're like, everyone's quiet, and there's fear. So we don't know where we're going. And I remember, we had some rice, and I think it was like the second day we were running low on water, and now we're rationing our water. That's when I realized, like, I think we may be in trouble.
Yeah. And so you're trying to keep your brother and sister, was it?
2 brothers.
2 brothers calm. You're trying to, one of the things she told me that I thought was very sweet is that you had your 2 brothers with you, and you knew during the day you could not break down. So you did not break down. You just kept a stiff upper lip. And then at night was when you would you'd be scared.
Yeah, I gave myself permission to cry only at night when they were asleep, or they couldn't see me, And that was, I wanted to make sure they were okay. I didn't want to fall apart in front of them.
So then, let's move ahead. So you end up in Iowa?
Well, we got, we made it to a refugee camp in Malaysia. So our boat, finally, we made land. And then I lived in a refugee camp for 9 months.
Okay, so it's just the 3 of you in this refugee camp. Okay.
And this family in Iowa took us in. And the father worked for Amana Refrigeration. He was a computer executive. ran out of refrigeration, and the mom had 5 kids, and she stayed home. And
So she ends up adopting you.
she took us, all 3 of us in.
All 3
and
of
she's-
you
yeah.
in. Wow. So she's a woman you really consider like your mom.
Yes, yes, Anita is my mother.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get reunited. Your mother and the other kids make it too.
Right, that was about almost 3 years later.
And so then you get reunited with them. And then are you torn between?
Yes, so I love Anita because she picked me.
Right.
And I love my mom because she had me. So
Right.
there's right? So
Right.
there's different, yeah.
Okay, so you guys want to see? I'm going to show you some pictures. Come here. Let's go show them
Okay,
pictures.
let's
Come
go.
here, you guys. So these are her family. So this is her. I'm going to turn this around because we'll look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. See? So this is. Go ahead and you can point them
yeah.
out. So this
That's
is
mom.
and that's you.
Oh yeah, there it is.
And those are your brothers and sisters.
Yes.
That's not all of them though.
No.
Okay, so
So
here's
this is the, so
and
this
here's
is the
here's
7.
all of you. Look at that. So
Yeah.
that's your whole. Okay, point to which
So-
one you are.
So I'm right here, and then this is the 2 younger brothers that were with me.
So they came with you
Yep,
on
so
the boat.
all 3 of us. Yep.
And then your mom, and then the other ones went with her.
Yep.
And who are these people?
That's grandma. There's mom, and there's our uncle.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what do you carry away? DM, come here. I'm gonna set this here. All right. Well, I'll just hold on to it. Okay. You're so short.
I am short.
So you just stand up, and I'll just lean like this.
Okay.
So what do you carry away with you from that? It's made everything. You said to me one day at the gym, everything else in life is a blessing when you've been through something like that.
I think having hope, to me that's a blessing. Every day is a blessing after going through something like that.
You have 2 children of your own, and you're married to a guy. 3.
3.
And you're married here, and you guys live here in Eugene. And now you're on the other side of this whole thing. And so now here's the kind of cool thing that I really love about this story. So you just, you've never done this before. You just purchased a business.
Yes.
And it's called Solar Ki, K-I, which Ki in Vietnamese.
That's key is in Japanese.
In Japanese, it means energy. So she has this company now that is providing solar energy for anyone who wants it. You guys have a system here in your own home. And tell them what you want to do with some of the proceeds from, every time somebody signs up with this, what you want to end up doing is.
Well, I was biking in Vietnam in 2007, and I flew into Hanoi, and we biked from Hanoi down to Saigon, and we were going through the village, and we're like, gosh, wouldn't it be great if they had electricity? And I thought, if I could come back and bring something back to Vietnam, what would I do? And that's when I was biking throughout Vietnam, that's when I was thinking, like, that would be great if we could do that. So when Solar Ki was for sale, I was like, that would be great if we could each install, we could take a portion of it and bring solar back to Vietnam in the village, for people that they can either charge their phone or, just simple.
Right, but at least because they don't have it,
They don't have
or
it,
it's
it's
really
very
sporadic and you can't count on it. So what Solar Key does is provides you with the ability to use the sun with batteries in addition to, and you can actually create and store your own. So you could go off the grid if you wanted to at some point by being able to, and that's really what gets you.
Yeah.
You really like that thing where you're not connected or tied to a power company. You still get power from eWeb or Sub or whoever you are, but if you get good at this and you store it right and get the right system, you could probably go without having to do that anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And then some of the proceeds you would use then to take that same technology to your people in Vietnam, which I think is so sweet. And all of a sudden you can do something real world. I mean, not some kind of BS thing. You know what I mean? It's like you're really going in and providing it's a basic need. Can you guys imagine not having electricity or electricity you couldn't count on? And so you can go back and kind of make it all full circle.
Yeah.
That has to feel really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that I'm completing that circle. That's what I feel like.
Does that kind of provide some sense of healing for you?
Yes, and going back to that hope, right? Hope.
For other people.
Yeah.
Because your life is good. You have.
Oh yeah.
She has a very blessed life, beautiful home, nice family, husband who's successful, kids who are cute and wonderful and do great things, and now you get to go and did you ever? I mean, you never could imagine that your life could do something like that. That you could turn around and now go back and help people like that.
No, not when I was on the boat.
Oh my gosh, no. And then probably for years after that too, you're thinking, what is this all for? What do I do with this?
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I feel very blessed to be able to do this.
So what is it about solar power that kind of, I could say something really corny, and I will, that charges you?
I think, you're in control of your power. I think that's you're having this power that's yours, so.
So you use the sun to create it.
Yeah.
And then you store it so that you can then turn around and use it. And so that when the power company ups the bill, it doesn't affect you as badly.
Correct. And so Solar Key, what I like about Solar Key is and solar power in general is that it offsets your electricity bill, right? So it could either eliminate or offsets it, depending on how big your system is.
So, should I talk to Alan about
Yes,
that? Okay, so you guys, so this is Alan. He works with Solar Key and with Diem. So, Alan, what I'm going to do is have you scoot over here kind of close to me.
Sure.
So, we're going to be good friends here. All right, you guys, this is Alan. What's your last name, Alan? Karen. And so he works with Diem. So tell people, because the first question you always get with solar power in Oregon, because I've talked about this before, is on a day like today, how do you get solar power when it's cloudy?
Yeah, so there's a little bit of misinformation out there that maybe Oregon doesn't get as much sun as the rest of the nation, which certainly doesn't get as much as Hawaii or Arizona, some of the more sunny states. But on average, we get the same amount of sun as the national average. Now, we do have a lot of rainy days here, but the way that the systems are designed is that they're designed to produce a little bit more electricity per day than you're actually using. So you're actually storing some of that in the grid as a credit for future use.
So you can also sell it back to the power companies, right?
Correct. So through the net metering that's in place right now, you get credit, so one-to-one credit for what you produce to be able to use later on. So you're in fact getting your own electricity back at no cost to you.
Oh, that's awesome. So you really are, and it really doesn't take any effort on your part because all you're doing is, you just have to pay the bill to put the solar system in. But then you have batteries. That's kind of the new part of solar power that a lot of people are unfamiliar with, is the battery system that you guys put in some homes. And we're going to be producing a video for them to show you this. But you can store your own energy that way.
Correct. So battery systems do a lot of things for you. It really depends on what you're looking to do, but most homeowners simply want to have the backup for when electricity goes out, to have those critical loads like maybe a refrigerator, or if you have some medical equipment, to have that power in storage. So we would then identify what those things are and size the system according to what your needs are. So when power does go out for maybe a day or two, you have that possibility of simply drawing on your own electricity.
So yeah, I think about that when Diem and I were talking about this. I live in the country, and when my power goes out, I got no toilet, I got no water. I mean, everything in the country runs on power. People go, yeah, you just still have water though. No, because I have a pump and it runs on electricity. So that would be much better than having a generator, because I've already generated it and used the sun to store my power for those days when I need that kind of thing.
Correct. And what people don't realize is that a lot of folks that have a solar system that are simply tied to the grid, they're designed to shut off when they don't sense the grid on the other end. So in effect, when the electricity goes down on the grid, your system goes down as well. And so having a battery backup system really hedges you against that possibility of not having any electricity at all.
So Alan, the other thing that I think people don't understand is, like, if I hook up and I'm on eWeb or Sub or Lane Blatchley or whatever it is, if I hook up, I'm still getting power from them. This just supplements it, and then I slowly, the more I am able to store, the less I have to use of theirs. So it's not like you just cut it off and I'm no longer connected to a power source if the sun doesn't come out for 6 months, right?
Correct. So you certainly have that option if you wanted to live completely off the grid. We can size your system to that point, and you can tell the utility, "I'm tired of paying your bills. Come take the meter off my wall."
Can I, Alan?
But most grid-tied systems, you're able to use the grid. So, for example, if your system for some reason goes down, it's not like electricity goes away either. You still have the utility to draw on. And again, the key here is to size your system correctly for your needs.
And that's what you guys do when you come in.
Right, and that's one big value that we add, that we don't simply have a set package that we give you. We actually take a look at your consumption to make sure we understand your usage through the year and size your system accordingly.
Okay, now the other thing, there are rebates available through, and some of them, they're not going to last forever. So there's rebates out there through eWebSub, different companies. Is that correct?
Yeah, so currently Oregon is really lucky that we have the Energy Trust of Oregon, and they budget money for the Portland General Electric and then also Pacific Power to then subsidize some of the costs of the investment into solar system. And you're right, so there are tiers right now. As they fill up those budgets, then they go down, and we're seeing about every month or 2 months those incentives are going down because everybody wants to get on board while those incentives are in place.
So it's something you really don't want to sit around, and if you're thinking about it, it's something you should do in the next year or so, because
Correct.
It's going to, and with budgets and stuff, you can't count on it to always be there.
Correct, and to that effect also, even the state incentives, right now they're in place till the end of this year. Who knows what happens afterwards? And the federal as well, the 30% for federal, even though it's set for till 2020, it can't change. It really depends on what the administration wants to do. So right now is the time to do it. So as long as your system goes in this year, you're able to take advantage of those incentives.
So those are the questions I got from people. So what other questions do you get that people don't understand about solar power?
Yeah, so a lot of people want to know what happens after the installation, and really this is something that SolarKey really creates value, is we understand that we need to be a customer-centric company. So once the installation goes up, we don't simply disappear. There's a reason.
I know where to find you.
there's a reason we give you a 10-year warranty on roof and labor, because we intend to be around to help you with any issues that you have along the way. So we invest in being around after the installation as well, because we understand that, you know, as technology changes or as your life
Right.
changes, there's questions that need answered or you need help with, and we want to be there to help you.
So Alan, I got an off-the-board question. So where are you from?
I'm from Eastern Europe, from a small country called Estonia.
And how long have you been here?
I moved to the U.S. in 1998.
And what do you love most about living in this state of Oregon?
I recently moved from Hawaii, and Hawaii is a paradise in itself, but Oregon has got so much open space and so much greenery, and that's really what drew my wife and my family to Oregon. And to that effect, that's why I love solar, is because I want to help keep it green.
Yeah, well, thank you for talking to us about solar power. And I'm going to go back to her. You got anything else you need to tell
No,
in there?
thank you for having me.
Oh, gosh, no, it's nice to, we'll be seeing more of you, I'm sure. All right. Oh, hi, Katie Piercy. How are you? It's good to see you. You'll love,
Hi.
yeah, this is Diem Pham, and she's a Vietnamese refugee from way back in the 70s. And now she is, has purchased a solar company, SolarKey, that's K-I, and that dog has got a big mouth.
Yeah.
and is going to use some of the proceeds she makes from each sale of these to take solar power, SolarKey power, back to her home country in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So what else do you want people to know? Can I ask you some stuff that's a little...
Sure, go ahead.
So when you look at the situation in our country with refugees, what does that look like to you?
It's funny that you said that, and I want to remind people that I want to put a face on the refugee, and that they're really hard workers, you know. So because I think that a lot of people they're coming for our jobs, and
you're actually here. You came here, and you came here legally. You're here.
I
Everything's
came here,
you're
yeah,
documented and all that kind of stuff. And you are providing jobs. You're providing income. You're providing resources. You're a part of the community. I know you're really involved in the community. And so people need to kind of take a different look at that a little bit, maybe.
Yes.
You are the face of a refugee.
I'm a refugee.
Yeah, she is a refugee and a proud refugee. I think, you know, and I think sometimes that might get clouded in the issue sometimes. What else do you want to say?
That I'm very grateful for this opportunity, you know, just to do this kind of work.
It's
Yeah.
kind of a big deal because you haven't owned a business before.
I've done other things. So.
Well, I know you're very experienced, and I have no
yeah,
qualms that you're going to
But
do this.
I really, backed off. I'm enjoying this whole process of, people are excited when they get their solar system, and they're coming back and talking to us about, gosh, look at my bill. It's better than than what
It's going down.
Yeah. So.
And do you think there's something also that you get off onto and get a kick out of, that you're helping people use what's natural and out here to create their own? You're really giving people the power to create their own power, and then giving them another bit of power away from the system. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what all of us crave, is some way of gaining some kind of control over what we use and how we use it. And it's very sustainable. It's very earth-centered minded. It's humanistic because you're taking care of the planet and people. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So Deem is now going to be on here monthly. She's one of our sponsors, and we'll be taking her. She's going to take us to some fun places. We're going to go to have Vietnamese food on occasion, just to kind of remind you guys of what's going on. But she's going to be part of our show, part of what we do every month, and bring a different flavor to what we do here in our place. I think it's going to be really fun, Deem. I think you'll really like it. And we're producing a video that you guys will see about her story that I think will be really interesting for you to just get a different vision of what's going on. So thanks for letting us come in your house.
Okay.
Thanks, you guys, for joining us. The thing you could do for us, I put all the information at the top. If you're interested in finding out more about Solar Key, that's KI, and their power system and how this all works, and finds out. They're doing this all over the state, so it's not limited to Eugene, Springfield. You got a job going in Corvallis, they've got one in Portland that's coming up. So this is all over the state, but if you want to know more information, everything's at the top. What you can do for us right now, just to help people, one, to see the refugee story, and two, just to kind of find out about the solar power issues. If you post this on your page, you don't have to go spreading around to everybody you know, although you could, and that would be nice. But if you just put this on your page and let people know whatever it was that you heard that kind of sparked something for you, put that in the title, and that you will be surprised at how many people will see that. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And we'll be back. So I'm going to see you at the gym next week. And
Yeah, I promise.
if she doesn't, I'll start putting a report on every time. Okay. All right, you guys, spread the word. And tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, we're going to be at Food for Lane County. Realtors in Eugene and Springfield are doing a big fundraiser this weekend for Food for Lane County. And so we're going to be at Food for Lane County talking with them about some of their new programs, and also talking with the realtors about why they're doing this. And then Friday, I know this is what you get when you have minor celebrity status in this community. I called some food trucks, and they're going to show up early at the fairgrounds on Friday and feed me and Leona Houston from Country Financial, who's also a sponsor of the show. We're going to go out there and eat at the food carts to kind of give you guys a warm-up of what's coming on Saturday. That's a fundraiser for the Eugene Mission that happens Saturday at the fairgrounds, and it's going to be packed. $2 to get in, and that goes to help the mission. I mean, that's cheap. And then you go around, and some of the proceeds go in there.
Wow.
Oh gosh, and
That's cheap.
they got, I don't remember how many trucks, but it's just tons of trucks. I mean, it's like the parking lot's going to be full. So we'll be out there eating there too. All right. I'll leave you alone. Go finish the rest of your lunch. Remember, put this on your page, okay? All right. We'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye.